Thanks once again for dropping by the channel. If you like the content, if you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe, share the video if you enjoyed it, if you felt it was useful. Now let's get into this. Second time recording this video, I honestly felt like crying after the first time, purely because pushed the button on this, recorded about 6-7 minutes, and my phone being an iPhone lets me know when it's below 20%, and it obviously went to below 20% because the little icon flashed up on screen just before I pressed record, and whenever that happens, the Bluetooth, it doesn't connect basically. So I recorded into a phone that wasn't recording, which was annoying, but just means I have to redo it again, and so be it. We're talking about Dillian Whyte. Now, Dillian Whyte, pretty much since this lockdown happened, he's been vocal. He's been pretty much bashing every top 10 to top 15 heavyweight he can think of. He's bashed Tyson Fury, he's bashed Deontay Wilder, bashed Andy Ruiz, bashed Dominic Breazeale, had a say on Usyk, Joseph Parker, just to name a few. I think he's even mentioned Ortiz in there. I think he might have anyway. Now he's coming out at Anthony Joshua. Now he's actually saying that Anthony Joshua was the one who avoided the rematch, or is avoiding the rematch with him, and he's fooling the public with fake excuses. Now, to quote Dillian Whyte directly here, this is an article he gave to Boxing Scene. It says, "All I can do is stay ready and stay focused on what I'm doing. My only requirement is give me enough time to prepare properly. Don't do what Joshua did, saying I refused to fight when he already knew and had told everyone in December 2018 that he'd arranged to fight Jarrell Miller on June the 1st at MSG in New York before his fake negotiations with me. I've spent more time haggling over tyre prices for one of my cars than any time spent negotiating on the Wembley fight. A couple of texts and a 5-minute meeting. AJ was trying to use me to make it look like he wanted to fight, and that he wanted to fight in the UK. If he wanted to fight in Wembley, why didn't he fight Miller or Ruiz?" So, a few things to take away from that. One, of course, is that we were pretty much told that, as long as Dillian Whyte's okay with it, we're getting Dillian Whyte versus AJ in April. And as far as December 2018, I don't think that fight wasn't announced until February. And it was really only kind of the start of February to kind of end of January was when we started hearing about AJ versus Miller, potentially. Because I remember doing videos about it at the time. And I remember after Dillian Whyte fought Chisora, which was just before Christmas 2018, AJ and him were in the ring. They were pretty much, that's what Sky wanted. Sky wanted AJ at Wembley sometime in April. It was mid-April last year, 2019. So what Dillian Whyte's saying there, and at the end of the day, you need to remember Dillian Whyte was the one who it was said that he didn't get enough money. He'd make more money, fighting, not more money, but in the long run he could make more money fighting Oscar Rivas and then going in the WBC route. He wanted the Brazil fight obviously as well, for the interim title, all these kind of things. That's just Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte says a lot of things, he really does. Especially like now, since the lockdowns happened, he's been really saying a lot of things. And I always find that Dillian Whyte is one of those kind of fighters, and I'm not knocking Dillian Whyte. I don't want people to think I'm knocking him. Definitely not. He's a good fighter. He's entertaining. In and outside the ring, he's done what very, very few fighters in probably the history of the sport have done, in that he's a multi-millionaire. He's never had a world title fight. There are very, 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 very few fighters who can make that claim. Very few. Chris Eubank Jr.'s fought for a world title. As hard as that is to believe, he did fight George Groves. So there are very few other fighters today, or probably ever, who are multi-millionaires having never had a world title fight. At least not yet, but I think Dillian Whyte could be a while off getting one. So I'm knocking him on that. But using Chris Eubank as an example, Dillian Whyte, he does tend to call a lot of these fighters out, or really start going into these fighters when they have fights that they pretty much can't get out of. Eubank Jr., I remember before he fought Yildirim, and he was already locked in, signed into that World Boxing Super Series. He was coming out saying, oh, Canelo and Triple G are fighting. Why aren't they talking about me? Why aren't they calling me out? Why aren't they fighting me? And it's like, mate, you're calling them out, but you're the one. You can't fight them. You're in this World Boxing Super Series for the next, year if it goes along that long. So Dillian Whyte kind of does the same. He was saying that he didn't have enough time to prepare for Anthony Joshua. Well, he wasn't complaining about, fighting on his undercard in Saudi Arabia, coming up grossly overweight against Marius Vac. So, you know, Dillian Whyte, he does talk an awful lot. You know, he does say, you know, he's funny. No, he is funny, but he does talk an awful lot of you know what. It is what it is, and that's just Dillian Whyte's character. You know, he's a fiery character. AJ isn't ducking the rematch. Well, why would he? He's already beaten the guy. And yeah, Dillian Whyte's improved. He's improved massively since the rematch. You know, physically, you know, I think he's hitting a bit harder. He's definitely punching a lot harder by the looks of things. He's got a full-time coach now, where before he was following Jonathan Banks around the world. But AJ's improved massively. And I think that if they were to fight in the next year, I would pick AJ to win. I think it would go to points. And I think Dillian Whyte versus AJ would always go to points. If that was pre-Ruiz AJ, if they fought last year in April, I think it would have went to points. I think Dillian Whyte is tough enough to be able to hang with AJ 12 rounds. I think he's improved him to be able to do that, definitely physically. And mentally, I think Dillian Whyte's always been a mentally strong character, right? But physically, he can go to 12 rounds. He was gassed after, what, 4 or 5 rounds in that first fight? He just wasn't in shape. He's in shape now, most of the time anyway. So, you know, Dillian Whyte definitely talking a lot, but he does that all the time. It's nothing, you just take it with a pinch of salt, you know, when he talks a lot of these kind of things, you know. So those are my thoughts on this. Let me know yours down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, of course, if you are new. And as always, I will talk. So before I go, I just want to say thank you for dropping by the channel. I really do appreciate it. I mean, all the support, all the things that have happened on this channel over the last year have been incredible. If you're new to the channel, as you see on screen there's a couple of like older videos that I have. Some of them aren't really relevant now, to be fair, but some of them are, like my Fighters with a Problem series, stuff like that. If you like any of this, please subscribe, like the video you just watched, share it, do it, all you got to do. Let's try and keep this channel going, because I love doing this and I love interacting with the fans, and I love hopefully the fans love watching my videos. So thank you for dropping by. I've been G-Man. I will talk to you.